Hello everyone. Today I'll just start discussing about the introduction to Python. Okay, what is Python? Python is a popular programming language. So it was created by Guido van Rossum and released in the year 1991. So it's a very popular programming language. Why is it so popular? Because it is used for web development as a server side language. Similar to Python, we have PHP as a server side language and many other server sided scripting languages we have. So, Python is one of the most popular server side language. Even it could be used for software development also. Python programming language can be used for solving various complicated mathematical problems and statistical problems. It can also be used for system scripting. It's one of the very important languages for artificial intelligence and machine learning programming languages. So, it's a wide applied programming language. So, that's the reason why Python is becoming so popular day by day due to all these applications. Moving on to the various areas wherein Python can be used. As I already mentioned, Python is one of the scripting languages for web applications as server sided scripting language. What do we mean by server sided scripting language? It's a language wherein you write applications on a server, let the application reside on a server, which we call it a web server, Apache server, whatever it is, and n number of clients which are connected to that particular server use that programming application using a simple browser. It could be Chrome, it could be Firefox, it could be Internet Explorer. So, using these kind of browsers, the client is connected to the server which has these kind of scripting languages. So that's why today most need not be most all the applications are server sided scripting applications. So that's the reason why Python is more used for server sided scripting applications. Here it is used as a software language also. We can treat Python as a language which is similar to your C++, Java, etc. These are all programming languages, and Python also can be used as one of the programming languages. One more very important application of Python which made the Python is so popular that Python can be connected to the database. See, it's a server-sided scripting language. It can be connected to the database also. Therefore, we can expect Python to be an interface language which could be used to develop a dynamic websites where a user is interacting. So examples for such dynamic websites maybe your Indian Railways for ticket booking, flight ticket booking, or bus bookings. So various reservations, book my ticket. So wherein user is logging in, user is entering some information, user is getting some information, user is updating. So directly, what does it really mean? It means that user through some privileges connected to the database and altering the information in the database. So for which Python is one of the very good languages. So it can handle another application. It can handle big data and perform complex mathematics. So it's even used for big data. Data analytics also it's used. So today one of the biggest industries in IT is big data analysis. So if you become an expert in Python, you can definitely work for big data analytics. So you can work for a complicated mathematics, and it can be used for even various statistical applications. So, so when I say it's used for various statistical application, next moment the idea which comes to my mind is about the researchers. Researchers, see, Python is one of the very important tool for the researchers for various types of analysis. And Python can be used for various artificial intelligence based applications. It can be used for rapid prototyping, or it can be used for production ready software development. So, what a wide area of application of Python. So, let's see what are the other benefits of using Python. The first one which comes to our mind is Python is working on different platforms. It is not operating system specific. It can work under Windows, it can work under Mac, it can work under Linux, even it's working for Raspberry Pi also. So that means it's versatile. It can be used for any type of operating system platforms. And Python has a simple syntax similar to the English language. That's another benefit of using Python as one of the important languages, handy languages. Python has syntax that allows the developers to write programs with fewer lines than some other programming languages. One of the very important features of the Python programming language. A complicated programs or complicated applications can be developed with the help of only few lines of code. It doesn't require lengthy programming codes. A few lines of codes are sufficient to develop a real-time applications from Python. And another very important feature of Python is Python runs on an interpreter system. We might have already studied the concept of compiler and interpreter. Compiler is used to compile an entire program before execution, but interpreter is not so. Interpreter will compile line by line. Whenever a line is okay, it will execute. Suppose if there are 20 lines in a Python program and there is an error in the 18th line, then till 17 line it will work, but when it comes to 18th line, it gives an error. But today we have some IDE wherein unless you have a complete correct program, it won't run, which is equivalent to what is called compilation. Okay, so basically Python is running on an interpreter system. Then Python can be treated as a procedural way. Python can be treated as an object oriented programming way. Python can be treated for a functional way. That means procedural way means anything wherein you use C. you can use Python. Object oriented way, one of the powerful languages which use object oriented programming concept is our Java. Python can also be used there also. And Python can be used wherever there is a functional required. So that means today for all software development, we need something called modular programming. Any programming language which supports a functional way or, or is well suited for modular programming. So definitely Python can be used for such modular programming. And one of the best part of Python is used for artificial intelligence applications. Many artificial intelligent applications can be developed using Python, like image recognition, thumb recognition, morphing, image morphing, or any AI based applications. Production, it can take some data from CSV, it can take some data from Excel, it can draw some chart. By drawing some chart, it can predict some future. So all these are AI applications which can definitely be implemented using Python. Now let's see, if you're interested to work with Python, what are required for downloading and to work with the Python? One of the most popular platform wherein we use Python is Anaconda. Directly go to anaconda.com or anaconda.org, download Anaconda and install Anaconda. So you can use Python using Jupyter. In addition to that, platform independent IDEs for softwares for writing Python programs include PyCharm, Atom, PyDeveloper, Spider, Sublime Test, CherryPy. There are a few more: Vim, Visual Studio, so etc. etc. There are many. So the important one which I am listing over here, the topmost one is Anaconda, which has all requirements for the Python. PyCharm is one more, Atom is one more, PyDeveloper is one more, Spider is one more, Sublime Text is one more, CherryPy is one more. These are all platform independent which can be installed in any operating system. Even we can work with Python IDE using a website for practicing Python. You need not install. So how to do that? How to work in website? That's possible going to collaboratory site of Google. So go to Collab. So there's a site address which is given, collab.research.google.com. It's a site wherein you have to sign in. If you're not signed in, you may have to register also, for which your Gmail ID is more than sufficient. Then once you register, you will get the screen something like this, wherein you go to new notebook. Once you go to new notebook, you will get the screen, the browser in this form, wherein here you can go on typing the Python programs. Even you can save it also. Now it is written untitled 0.ipynb. So you can save it. When you save it, it will be saved in your system, which you can open it also in the browser. So you can run the program through the browser, whatever program you have saved in your system. So we'll do some demo of it also. So demo of the same thing, we'll do it. So even you can do it on a browser. If you don't have enough space to download one of the any one of the IDE for the Python, so you can online work with online with this particular collab. So you go to Google, say type collab for Python. So the first one will come collaboratory research, collaboratory, this thing which you click, you'll get this particular site. So don't forget to register yourself, sign in, and then you can work with this Python program. So very simple concept. So let me give you a very simple program. Print hello world. Let's see how does it work. Okay, so print hello world. I'll do it in my collaborative system. So this is my collaborative system. So I'll go for new book. So here I'll get an ID wherein I can type and I can execute. So okay, I'll write here a very simple program. Print hello world. Okay, so now I'll run this program. This here to run the program. So here the program is running from the site. That's why it depends upon the speed of the internet. So otherwise, if you have installed that software in your system, immediately it will run. See, or you will get the output hello world. Simple, it's so simple it is. So you want to save it. Okay, you can save. You can save in the GitHub also. So you can save in the drive also. Here also it will save. Now it is saved. So you can open also. So you can open a notebook. So here it is written. So untitled one. So sorry, untitled one has come. So if you want to save with a name, let's say you want to save. So if you want to list it, you will get it so that you can open it and yeah, search and you can open it. Say I'll open it. I'll save this with a rename. So I'll rename it. Let us say sample one. Say sample one. Sample one. So suppose I want to open notebook. So I open the notebook. My notebook is open. So I can run this. So of course I may even give the name also. I IPYNB. So IPYNB. So here see, I can load it in my Google Drive. I can load it in GitHub for which I need to have my own ID. So anywhere I can store my program. IPYNB. So I can say sample one dot IPYNB. So now my program got saved. Okay. So now, so we've just seen a very simple sample program. Okay. Now, this is the way wherein I can go to the site to download the Python, and using text mode, I can run the Python. See, the command to run the Python in the text mode is Python space name of the file dot py. So, this is a method of running a Python program in the command prompt. So, even I can say if I type Python, I'll get this is a Python command prompt with the three this type. So now here I can go on typing the commands, immediately I'll get the output. These are all command line version IDEs. Okay. Now let me give a very simple Python program. So before I go to this, I will write a very simple program here. Say, let me say n1 is equal to 10, n2 is equal to 20, n3 is equal to n1 plus n2. Then say print n1. Very simple program I'm writing. Very simple. N2 print n3. Let's see how does it work. Okay. So let me run this. So there is a error. So there is an error. So error is see. Very simple it is. Very simple. A simple program I've written. I've not used any conditional statements over here. Just for the practice. Just for your practice, I've done it. Okay. So moving on to next one. So this is actually a program which takes some data input, and I'm just now going to elaborate the same program in a little different way. Let me little bit elaborate a simple program what we have done over there. See what I do is I will go to once again the same IDE. So if I want a new command line, I'll go to code. So here I will type. So here I've not done anything. So if I want a new coding line, I have to type plus plus. Otherwise, I'll delete it. See, my earlier code was this. Suppose now this is my fresh screen. So I'll go for coding. So this is my first code. Okay. Now let my n1 be is equal to input. I'll give a statement. Let us say enter the value for the first number. So n2 is equal to input enter the value for the second number. Okay. So my n3 is equal to n1 plus n2. Simply, I'm just starting with the very simple programs. Slowly we shall go to higher level later. So now I'll go to print the first number is comma n1. I have to see whether it is correct or not. Let me see. Print the second number is comma n2. Print the sum is n3. Okay, let me run the program and see whether there is a mistake error in this one. So there is no error. Okay. So now enter the value for the first number. I will enter the value as 10. Enter the value for the second number. Let us say I'll enter the value as 25. The first number is 10, second number is 25. The sum is 10, 25. Yeah, here is one very important point which I need to tell you. Basically, if I don't mention the type of the data, it is treated as a text. Just look at this example. I have entered 10. 10 is not taken as a number. So n3 became n1 plus n2. See, n1 plus n2 means what? Two texts are concatenated together. So n3 has become a text. Suppose if I want these two numbers as numeric value, I have to give whether the numbers are integer or float. So if I mention this as integer, now I will run the program. Let's see. Now I will run the program. Okay, first 10, second number 25, 10, 25, 35. See, I mentioned these are numbers. If I don't mention the integer or float, even float also is numeric only. They are numeric only. So if I mention float, the sum becomes 35.0. So we get float. If I don't mention the type of the data while reading, it will be treated as a text only. This is one point you have to remember. Suppose if I want one more programming code, so I can type plus code. So that will add a code. If I don't want, I can delete it. So this is one more point to understand. So very simple program we have discussed now so far. So today, after watching this, do some exercises on the same, then work out with some programs, some simple programs, and uh, get the solution for it. Okay, goodbye.